Okay. Sorry, forgot to hit record earlier. But so why should you hit it? Number two is opportunity to earn credits towards the annual Success Club trip. So Angie and I are actually going to Punta Cana in March with Shane and Isaac. And so every year Beachbody does a Success Club trip where if you are one of like, you're in an opt out or opt in list. So you say, hey, I'd be interested in going on the trip. And then they rank you based off of your Success Club points the previous year. And then they like invite down the list and they rent out like this year it's just at one hotel because I think of like COVID, a lot of people still aren't traveling, whatever. But the year prior, I actually earned the trip, signed up to go, and it got canceled. But they had two hotels because it's like all Beachbody people there at that trip. So they just go down the list inviting people, they can accept or deny it. And then if you hit Success Club, you get for every Success Club point, you get $10 towards your trip. So you can earn the Success Club trip based off your last year's points, which it's worth $1,300 and it's for you and a guest. But if you have enough Success Club points throughout the year, you actually don't have to pay for it. So like Angie and I both got ours paid for. So we just have to buy our plane tickets there, which for me, 4 days in a all exclusive resort in Punta Cana, like just paying for my plane ticket, to me, that's like definitely a win. And so that's really cool to be able to do that. Number three is participation in Beachbody's customer leads. So there's actually a program where if you're an Emerald coach or higher, and then you hit Success Club, you get free leads. So like if Angie goes on and just signs up on beachbody.com, right? Like pretend she's not a coach. She just goes on to teambeachbody.com, says, I want Beachbody on demand, but she doesn't have a coach. Like she saw a commercial, a radio ad, she saw the thing on Snapchat, right? Beachbody has been doing so much marketing. That random person does get assigned a coach, and that could be you. So I know I probably make, I don't know, $300-400 a month just solely based from customer leads. And I have 2 or 3 customer leads who literally buy Shakeology and performance packs every single month. So they're like, I've emailed this person and said, how can I help you? I help them when needed. But for the most part, I didn't have to invite them, didn't have to do that work of, building that relationship. It was just a free customer lead I got because I hit Success Club and was an Emerald or higher. 4, it creates a long lasting business and will increase your income potential. So the thing with Success Club, like we talked about, is it's you adding 3 new people a month. So then you're continually, bringing new people in, which is going to exponentially increase your income. And then it makes for renewals a year later. It makes for people who maybe continue to do the products. It makes for your future coaches. There are so many different things that it can do when you are bringing in 3 new people. Okay, so prizes and rewards, yes, please, right? I talked about, for me, this is very motivating. I'm not sure what motivates everyone else, but think about what motivates you, and that should be the thing you focus on. So I posted in the team page the rewards for 2022. But if you hit Success Club 1 month in the year, you get this cool crossbody bag, which I'm like, will be perfect like in March when we're traveling to Punta Cana, because it's like really a cute little travel bag. And then 3 months. So the thing with the Success Club prizes is they don't have to be consecutive months. So you can hit like month 1 in January, you could hit month 2 in March, and month 3 in June, whatever. My hope for everyone on the call is we go into 2022 trying to hitting Success Club every single month. Month 3 is a branded phone mount. I'm not quite sure because like I see it, that little blue thing there, but I don't really get how your phone attaches to it. Not quite sure about that, how that'll work. Maybe you like move up one of the legs. I don't know. Then 6 months is a Team Beachbody Coach sleeveless hoodie. Month 9 is a Sherpa lined hoodie lounger. That's what I'm really like gunning for. That looks like the coziest thing ever to sit in. And then 12 months is a branded Lululemon scuba jacket, which I've never owned Lululemon in my life because the Lord knows I never pay for Lululemon. And so it's fun. This year it was a camo hat, which was really cool. Month 3 was a long sleeve. Month 6 was a cooler backpack. And then month 9 was it's like a light block. So I actually use it to take photos for my boutique because you just move it wherever. Or like if you're taking pictures somewhere, you just move it and set it anywhere. And then month 12 is Ray-Bans. And so just some fun prizes there. And it's fun just to have them show up at your door. If you hit Success Club and you do not like receive your prize, like say you hit month 1 in January and you don't get like the email that you got it and it shipped, you should contact customer service, because there should be no reason. Like make sure if you're not getting prizes, you need to be contacting customer service to make sure there's not an error in your account or mailing address or something like that. Because some people have their mailing addresses wrong in there, because sometimes it's automatically set up for the first mailing address you ever put in Beachbody. And then the other prize I wanted to talk about was the Success Club trip. So this was Angie and I when we went to North Carolina for her bachelorette party, but that's also going to be us in like 3 months when we go to Punta Cana. And it's fun because you get to take you and a guest. So like Shane and I are going and Angie and Isaac are going, but you could take your mom, you could take your sister, you could take whoever you want to take. But we're really excited for that. And if you, like I said, hit Success Club consistently, then you can even pay for your trip and the cost. Oh, I wanted to touch on the travel too while we were on that slide. Is there's other opportunities too, like you can earn tickets to Summit, which is like our annual conference, think of National FFA convention, but for coaches. And then also in January, I earned a spot to go to Vegas for the New Leaders Conference. So they actually, again, all I had to pay for was my plane ticket there, which plane tickets to Las Vegas are pretty cheap because people go to Vegas like all the time. And so, and I get to stay in the Bellagio, which is like way too fancy that I would never pay for the Bellagio. And so that'll be good, but there's different trips you can earn as well. Okay, so how do you hit it, right? If you're new to Success Club, there's 2 things you have to do to hit Success Club. You have to have a personal order worth 90 PV or more on a subscription. So this would be an order of Shakeology every month. This would, and it has to be on home auto direct, right? It could be Beach Bars and Collagen and Energize. It could be Energize and Recover. It could be any combo of anything, but it has to be 90 PV. So when you're in Team Beachbody, it'll show you the volume amount, but you have to hit 90. And if you go on the Success Club screen on your coach back office, it'll show you if you've hit that or not. I personally have my Shakeology set to, I think it's now like the 2nd, but it was the 1st of every single month, so that I know that day, like that month, I'm always hitting that requirement. Number 2 is you have to earn 5 or more Success Club points in the month by signing people up with a total solution pack. And then each pack is 2 points. So I think they just use 5 and 10 because those are like nice numbers. But to me, I'm always like, you know, you don't really ever hit 5 points. You hit like 6 points, but I guess 5 and 10 sound better than 6 and 12. I don't know, or 6 and 10. So that's how you hit it, by signing people up with total solution packs. You can do it like and that counts for customers, preferred customers, or coaches. There's another way where if you have customers spend like over 90 PV on a new order, or a solution pack, or not a solution pack, I can't think of the word right now, where you don't do BOD, you just add to it. I can't think of what it's called right now, but I just go with the straight signing new people up. Okay, so, oh, my tea got moved on the wrong spot. So a few tips for you, because you're like, okay, this is great. This is all about Success Club. Now, how do I actually hit it? And my first tip for you is show up as yourself, which I think our team has done a really good job. Honestly, guys, I live for the dance parties that we do. Like, I think that's the most fun thing ever. And I think it's just something that has now become really unique for us, and it's just fun. And you want to use yourself as a constant invite, right? Like you're constantly showing what you're doing, what you're up to. And I shouldn't say constantly, right? Like you don't have to post on social media every minute of what you're doing and everything, but you want to be who you are so people can relate to you, right? If I have someone who is a new mom and struggling and like doesn't quite know what's going on and how to be a good mom, like she's probably not going to connect to me as well as she'd connect to like Steph or Jess or someone like, right? Sarah G is probably going to connect more to someone who's pregnant, right? But when we show up as ourselves, it shows people that we're real human beings and that like we're willing to connect with them. And it can also be a family thing, right? Like I talk about what Shane's doing. A big thing I used to do always is show meals, like what am I eating? And then how did I take what I made for Shane and change it into like what I'm eating? And the thing is, like, success is not far away for any of us. We just have to put in the work. Second is involve your team and your family. So if you have coaches, like I love how we are always tagging each other and posting each other's, because then people see like this is a community, which is the number one thing with Beachbody. If you go to Summit, if you go to any live things, like the community is hands down the best part. And so make sure, you know, you're tagging people, you're getting your family involved. I love when I see like when Steph makes Matt work out or has Bo, right? Like it just is fun to see those and your family getting involved. Tip number 3 is be proof it works and be a real person, right? I'm not saying you have to love every single product Beachbody has, right? Like there are things I don't use. There's things that I say, you know, like I don't, you know, like I don't know about that because I don't use it. But you want to show, you want to be proof, because I think of someone with like, I even think of my boutique, or I think of any other business or anything I'm buying from. If I have someone tell me about how much they love it and how much they use it and how it's the best thing since sliced bread, I'm more willing to buy that product instead of just like a graphic posted on my story. Like, no offense, but I know there's like, I think of Airbon and It Works and Herbalife. Like, I feel like they're always just posting screenshots of their products and then like expecting people to be like, on a random Tuesday at 2 p.m, oh yeah, I really want that, I'm going to go buy it. Like that rarely happens. If I want, like if I'm going to buy something, it's typically because someone's talking about it, someone's explaining what it is, someone's showing it off. And then my last tip is my other thing with Be Proof It Works is your social media is your storefront. So it's not 100% Beachbody all the time, but I purposely post about Beachbody or workouts like 3 times a week, because if people don't know they can come to me to sign up, they will literally, like I have had people who literally like a month into it be like, can I be in your challenge group? And I'm like, yeah, like, do you have Beachbody? And they're like, yeah, I randomly signed up on the website last month. And I'm like, what? Like all the time I'm talking about Beachbody and getting involved in our challenge groups, right? But people don't know. And people don't know, if you don't share about it, people don't know you're open. So make sure you do that. And then number 5 is keep it simple, right? You're on a mission to help as many people as possible. And really nothing is a cold invite, because I want you to think about this. Angie and I have talked about this. She has one girl who like always watches her stories, but doesn't follow her, doesn't like message her back, and is a super creeper. So like, who really is the creepy one when you're popping in their inbox? Like if you don't know them, like I think of how many people I don't know personally who are watching my stories and know me as a human being. And so to me, popping in their inbox to talk to them is not creepy, because like they watch me every single day, you know? And so, yeah, if they are liking your posts, if they're watching you on your stories, like it's not a cold invite. A cold invite is going to like all the people who use a hashtag and inviting them without ever following them or having any sign of life, right? Okay. I just got to make sure I'm going through my notes. Okay. So this is a stat I had written down from a call I did with Josh Coates. That was, and I want you to think about, where will you be in 6 months, right? So in 6 months, it'll be warm out. Thank God. It'll be summer. Oh, the days will be long, but it'll be busy. But where will you be at? So did you know that 10% of coaches, they'll be lifers, right? They'll be in this forever. They're going to stick it out, even if they're not like coaching like we are today. Like I think of Melanie Mitro, Keisha Fitzgerald, all of them, like they started in Beachbody, started their secondary businesses, and they still collect a paycheck in Beachbody. Like they're still some of your top coaches, because you start, like for me, I have so much in my downline and so many customers that I'd never walk away from this. Like, because to me now it's just income that is continual for me. So 10% will become lifers, but 90% are going to flake out in 6 months. I can tell you we have about 50 coaches on our team, but you can see how many people are on team calls, right? So that's the difference between your lifers and then the people who are going to flake out. So in 6 months, are you still going to be here, or are you going to decide, no, that was too hard? Because most of the time, if you're walking away, it's mostly because we thought we deserved success, but we weren't willing to put in the work for success, if that makes sense. Okay, so what is possible? And here's what I want you to think about going into 2022, right? This can open up any door you want. And I want to talk about all the different doors that this coaching right here, if you say, screw the excuses, if you say, I'm going to invite, even if I'm scared, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, I'm going to get 1% better every single day to build my business. I want to talk about what's possible. So number one, I want to talk about the income that can happen for you and your family, which insert income disclaimer, right? Every Beachbody coach is independent, and the amount you make is based on how hard you work and the individual effort you put in as a coach, right? So I have to talk about that because I don't want anyone thinking, well, I'm a Beachbody coach, so I should make this much money. But money, I just hit with Beachbody, I've made over $30,000 in 3 years. And so to like think of the income possibilities, to me, this is my way out of teaching. And I plan to quit teaching next year. Like the only reason I'm teaching 4 years is because I got a teach grant and I don't want to pay back $20,000 if I don't. Like, to me, one more year of teaching is worth the saving 20,000. But the money financially, and I know that's only going to continue to increase. But this year I'm already at like 17 grand for the year, right? So when you stick it out and you keep building, and even though like November, I hit Success Club. October was one of my worst months, but this month in December was one of my best months, and I made about 2,000. So it's like, what could $2,000 do to your family? Like, to me, that could almost replace my teaching salary. Like if I could bring that in consistently. So, you know, I didn't get started in this because of money, and I'm not just like driven to make money, but it is something in reality that like, that's how I'm going to get out of teaching, all of that. And it's fun. Like if you have extra fun money, that's how we can travel. That's how we can do that. Also, I put the picture of Shane and Berkeley and Clover and I, because actually how I got Berkeley was because Shane said, well, if you can pay for it out of your Beachbody account, you can get another dog. So to me, Berkeley is like my representation of like Beachbody paying off for me because he is my Beachbody dog. Second is confidence. I think that's something all of us strive to have more of, is confidence. And I think 150%, I carry myself differently in the classroom, around others, in my marriage, everywhere because of Beachbody coaching. If you would have seen me as a teacher in college or student teaching, I would literally get like bright red. I would feel anxious. Like I felt sick when I was going to teach. Like I just had so much anxiety about it. And now I can like walk in any room and just do what I need to do and not worry about it, because Beachbody has really given me the confidence to do that. Third is freedom, right? What do you want freedom to do? Freedom to travel, freedom to take more time off work, freedom to take a job that's maybe part-time, freedom to quit your job, freedom to buy presents that you want. Shane and I, this is probably the first year we've really gone out and like bought a lot of presents for people, because in the past we're like, well, we don't really want to spend the money, like we should be doing other stuff. But now we have that freedom. Okay. Freedom to build a shop, freedom to build a house, freedom to, you know, save and pay off debt, freedom to do whatever, but it can create a lot of freedom for your life. And then lastly is opportunity. What will come out of being a Beachbody coach isn't going to be just being a Beachbody coach. So like, I full-heartedly believe, like, Angie asked me to start the podcast with her because of Beachbody. Like if she wouldn't have done Beachbody coaching, she probably never would have started the podcast. I think of Victoria and her blog, like if she didn't do Beachbody coaching, I don't know if she would have ever started her blog, because like it gives you the confidence to do other things. I put a picture of me in my boutique clothes because hands down, I can tell you, because of Beachbody, the income I built with Beachbody, the confidence I built with Beachbody, that led me to being like, I've done all of this in Beachbody thus far. So I know whatever I work hard on, I can do. And it gave me the opportunity to start the boutique. So, right, like there's a lot of people who use Beachbody as a stepping stone to what their true dream is. And I will forever love Beachbody and coach and stuff like that, but it also leads you to bigger and better things as well. So I want you to think going into 2022, what kind of possibility is this store going to open for you? Yes, Jess put, I never would have been brave enough to drop full-time work and be a stay-at-home mom and bake from home. So true, because her and I talked about it for a really long time. And then when she messaged me that like she lost her job, we just said like, well, I guess like that's what God's plan is. And we're gonna like, you're gonna make it work and it's gonna be okay. And it's, I think too, for me, it gives me an outlet. Just dealing with husbands, they're very, I love mine to death, but right, like they kind of take up a lot of your time. I can't imagine someday when we have a child and they take up even more of your time, but it gives you something of your own. And I think that's what I really like, because everything else you kind of do together. And so this is like my thing. Okay. So any questions, comments, anything like that? I don't even know what time it is. 7:58. Good timing. I'm always like aiming for that 30-minute mark. But I just want you to think about what could the possibilities be, because you don't have to say like, well, I want to quit my job. You could simply say like, I want to make enough money to offset whatever, or I want to make enough money to be able to take my kid to Disney World. Like I was even thinking as I was going to bed tonight, I'm like, at what age will I bring my children to Disney World? Like at what age will I bring my niece and nephew? Like, do I do it when they're 10? Like that's the things I'm thinking about, because I know Beachbody will make it possible. We just have to be willing to show up, do our invites, get the dang thing done, and be committed to it. So any comments, any questions, anything? It's so good to see all your faces, or black screens. That's okay too, because I know you guys have stuff you're doing in your life. So, okay. Did you have something, Sarah? You unmuted yourself, but I can't hear you.
No, I didn't. I don't know how I did that.
Okay, well, it's good to hear your voice. I hope everyone has a really Merry Christmas and has a good week. If you are a teacher and you're still teaching this week, hang in there. I'm hoping I don't murder a child in these next few days because I'm tired. But I hope everyone has a really good Christmas. And like I said, if you hopped on late, we won't do team call next week just because with Christmas, everyone will be busy and everyone will be tired by Sunday. But I do plan on doing one on January 2nd to start the year strong. So I hope everyone has a good night. Happy Monday. And it's Christmas week, even though it doesn't feel like Christmas. So good night. Thank you all for being here. Let's go crush some goals this week.